Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Thamriyell, and this is me recording this video again. Alright, let's give it another shot. I want to talk about Prot Paladins as a whole on the beta, about what talents I personally like to use, what stats I like to use, what glyphs I like to use, and give you an idea of what Prot Paladin would be like. And I'm just here in a cathedral, just chilling out, just hanging out, doing nothing. All the training dummies are being swarmed right now, so I'd rather not hang out there, or else my frames will just dip, and especially since beta's not being optimized anyway. Let's get on to the stats. My personal favorite stat to stack right now on the beta is haste, because it increases attack speed and spellcasting speed, and that's beneficial in many ways. First, let's say you have Seal of Truth on. You're constantly attacking the target and your auto attack is a little faster than usual, and Seal of Truth makes sure that every single attack you do, auto attack or ability, adds extra holy damage, which is nice to have. And it's just easy to have. And then let's say you have Seal of Insight on. If you're trying to self-heal yourself and make sure you're alive against, like, I don't know, 2 rogues or something. And this makes sure that with extra haste, you have a higher attack speed, and with higher attack speed, you're able to hit more. And the more you hit, the more you heal yourself with Seal of Insight. They kept that little buff, the tiny little heal, for when you strike somebody with Seal of Insight on, with just basic melee. It's not extreme, like it's not like, oh, 20k health. It's not any of that. It's like, I don't know, it's like less, maybe 2,000, but it's just a tiny little percent that's enough to make a difference, Let me go ahead and cast Blessing on Kings again. I don't know, just it's a habit to keep buffs on. Critical strike doesn't really benefit too much. Mastery is only good for melee heavy cleave, and I'll tell you why in the talent section. Bonus armor, we don't have that yet. Multi-strike is just decent to have. It doesn't really benefit us directly. Versatility is awesome to have, but it, like I said, with just like multi-strike, it just doesn't benefit us directly. I can't speak, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's talk about the 2-piece bonus for Prot Paladins. One of my favorite part about playing as a Prot Paladin is those exclusive 2-piece bonuses. They're great. First one, a 2-piece bonus, is target hit by a Fist of Justice takes 10% more damage for 6 seconds. And that is awesome to have, because if you play as a Prot Paladin, you're not going to be the guy that does a ton of damage. You're most likely not going to be the guy that does like those incredible crits and incredible bursts and like 1 million burst damage overkill and stuff like that. Since, I mean, we hit hard but not that hard. But this would be great for, let's say, you're trying to set up a really nice kill. Let's say I'm running with Dalran, the combat rogue, and then we're trying to set up a really nice kill. He got his burst up, he's ready to burst, and we want to make sure we do extra damage to the target. I cast Fist of Justice. Even if the trinket is stunned, the magical debuff will still stay on them, and will make him take 10% more damage. And if I'm bursting and my DPS partner is bursting, just the combination of the damage can be sometimes an overkill, unless the person pops defensives. But I mean, it's just nice to have this kind of a setup. And then the 4-piece bonus is reduces damage taken while Ardent Defender is active by additional 10%, which is just nice to have. Extra physical damage reduction taken. And when you activate Ardent Defender, it will also apply to the nearest ally within 15 yards. So let me give you a situation. Me and Dalran were fighting a Feral Druid and Arms Warrior. For some reason, Feral Druid and Arms Warrior decided to really focus Dalran down. He was trying to CC them, but they were just bursting on him. They're heavily bursting. He needed damage reduction. Instead of just like casting, I don't know, I already cast on him Execution Sentence and try and spam Eternal Flame on him. It's not, he's still dying, he's still losing health. So what I do is get close enough to him, use Ardent Defender, waste it on myself, but make sure that Ardent Defender gets applied on him, so that he also reduces all damage taken by 32%. That's only with a 4-piece bonus. If I didn't have a 4-piece bonus, it would just be 22%. So this only comes Prot Paladin only. And I don't know, it's just really nice to have this ability to have these exclusive bonuses for just Prot Paladin. And then be able to have a choice, like, do you want to save it for yourself, or do you want to use an friendly who is taking a lot of damage? It's just nice to have. It's like, it makes you feel like a supportive tank. It's really cool. So let's talk about the talents. Most of the talents are same as just regular. Long Arm of the Law, I just like the sprint on it. Fist of Justice, I like the 30-second cooldown on it instead of the Hammer of Justice, which has 1 minute cooldown. I know I could have chosen Blinding Light, but I really don't care for the ability. I personally prefer, my cup of tea is Fist of Justice. Plus, it does come with a tier bonus, so that's kind of why I put the two together. And Fist of Justice is just a great CC. Eternal Flame, my personal choice for healing. Selfless Heal, I wouldn't choose that. That's more that benefits red a little more still. Sacred Shield is it's alright. Still not my cup of tea. Oh, there's another Paladin. Hello, another Paladin. Eternal Flame is just my personal choice. Clemency, another my personal choice. I liked it in Mist of Pandaria, and I still like it in Mist of Pandaria, and I like it as Prot Paladin. It's just nice to have the ability to have 2 seals at my disposal instead of 1, which I don't know, it's just nice. Let's say I'm in a battleground and somebody needs to be freedomed, and another person needs to be freedomed, and 2 people need to be sacked, and then 2 people need to be bopped. That's 6 hands that I just threw out. Not actual hands, but hand abilities. Okay, anyway. Then we got Holy Avenger, and I personally grabbed Holy Avenger, not that for the fact that it helps generate holy power really fast, but for that 30% additional damage or healing. Personally, I like the ability to choose to use the ability for offensively or defensively. Let's say I'm being trained, I'm getting attacked by like 5 people, and I really need to heal myself. I already popped Guardian of Ancient Kings, I'm still losing health. I'll pop Holy Avenger and start spamming Eternal Flame on myself in hopes that I'm able to survive to find a healer somewhere that can actually like burst heal me and keep me alive, and I can actually like, I don't know, live. And also I can use it offensively, since Prot Paladins really don't have any offensive cooldowns to pop. Like, we don't have like any burst cooldowns anymore. The only thing we got is Guardian of Ancient Kings, and that's defensive. Alright, for level 90, I personally prefer Execution Sentence. Same reason actually, it's a great offensive and defensive ability. I've used this ability in both offensively and defensively all the time. It is nice to have, does great healing, does great damage. I personally love it, especially if you combine with the 2-piece bonus of Fist of Justice and then start using Execution Sentence. It starts building up, building up, building up. It just eventually immerses into a decent amount of damage that has been dealt to the target, and especially if you got a DPS partner with you, it is just good for burst. Alright, and for level 100 towns, I'm going to talk about the ones that I didn't choose. Seraphim felt very Inquisition-y, and also Prot Paladins can't really build 5 holy power as fast as, let's say, Red Paladins. Red Paladins would gladly grab Seraphim because they can build up 5 holy power real fast. Prot Paladins can't really build that up. I mean, the fastest I can build up is 3 holy power, and I use it like instantly. I always use it on either Eternal Flame to heal myself or others, or use it for Shield of the Righteous to pretty great damage in Warlords of Draenor, and also reduce physical damage I take by 30% for 3 seconds, which is, I mean, it's just nice. It's just always nice to have that. And it also builds up a stack of Bastion of Glory. And Holy Shield, I tried the whole Mastery build with like extra block and then Holy Shield for another block. Holy Shield spec, like Mastery spec I guess, would only be good against melee heavy cleaves. If you get like a mage and a warlock, you can't block magical abilities, you can only block physical abilities. And yeah, it doesn't benefit. Plus the damage from Holy Shield is decent, but not what I would want for a burst. It's not a burst ability. I personally prefer Empowered Seals because, I mean, other than the passives, it's just nice to have these seals and the versatility of being able to stack all 3 seals. So Judgment of Truth, for every judgment, I get extra 15% of attack power. I think that's been changed because I remember it used to be 10% attack power, but I guess they buffed it a little bit, which for Prot Paladin, I'm not going to complain. Judgment of the Righteous will give me haste for 10%, and Judgment of Insight will heal me for 1% of maximum health every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. And some people may be like, oh, it's so overpowered, it's like Second Wind. It really is not. It doesn't do that much damage at all. It does, I mean, healing. It does decent healing, but not enough to be like overpowered. I personally like it, it's nice. So let's talk about some of the glyphs, some of the useful glyphs and some of the glyphs that I personally like to use. And we're going to discuss some glyphs that you guys have messaged me or commented me about, so maybe discuss a little bit and talk a little bit about can't even speak, stuttering, too tired, need to drink some water. Talk about some glyphs that may or may not be useful in Warlords of Draenor, even though they're kind of sort of viable in Mist of Pandaria. So the 3 glyphs that I like, or that I have equipped so far on me. Glyph of Consecration. I mean, look at this. You become the Consecration. You don't plant it on the ground, you just run around and get it to cast around you. Like, why couldn't they implement it before? This is a great idea. We'll be able to have Prot Paladins be like, oh, do they want to just cast a like Death and Decay can be cast by Death Knights, or do they want to just plant on the ground, just have it generate, or do they want to run around with it? I personally like to run around with it. The bad thing is it fills up a major glyph slot, but it's whatever for me. Glyph of Focus Shield, I grabbed it because Avenger Shield hits one target, but for 30 more damage. So it doesn't hit 3, it only hits 1, but for 30 more damage. And with Holy Avenger active, that's another 30% more damage. That's a decent amount of damage you can do right there. It's just nice. Also, you gotta remember, Avenger Shield, guys, use it. Don't just use it as an offensive ability. Use it as a silence, because it's a blanket silence. Here, I'm gonna read you real quick. Interrupting and silencing the target for 3 seconds on hit. Which, like, that is awesome. Let's say you're fighting a Shadow Priest and a Boomkin. A Boomkin is about to heal the Shadow Priest. You can cast Avenger Shield on the Shadow Priest, who's kind of getting weak and getting pummeled on, or you can cast it on a Boomkin, stop the heal, and then continue pummeling on the Shadow Priest, and then switching over to Boomkin once the Shadow Priest is dead. It's versatile, it's great. You can't just treat it as just a damage ability. No, it's a great silence. It's a great range silence that only Prot Paladies have. It's something that you have as a class. Use it, goddammit. Alright, enough the rant. Glyph of Burden of Guilt, just my personal favorite. Don't really have too much of an attachment to it. It's just nice. It's just nice. Helps slow down people that really like to just run around the entire arena map or battleground or whatever. Alright, so, and by Battleground, I mean Ashram. Battlegrounds still aren't active on the beta yet. They're still being fixed. There's still a lot of bugs there. Okay, so, crap, sorry about that. Some of the glyphs that could be possibly controversial, or could be like, would they be useful, would be like Divine Protection, which reduces magical damage reduction for your Divine Protection by 20%, but adds 20% physical damage. So it takes away 20% magical, adds 20% physical, so it's like 20-20. 20 magical, 20 physical. I would not grab it because you already have A, Guardian of Ancient Kings, and B, you already got Ardent Defender as physical damage reduction. Why would you gimp yourself by making Divine Protection only 20% magical? Just leave it 40% magical. It's great. It's awesome. Let's say you're being Chaos Bolted by just a ton of Chaos Bolts and you're running away. Cast Divine Protection. You might be able to survive. Alright, Double Jeopardy. Prot don't deal that much damage. No reason of grabbing it. Flash of Light. You don't heal that much with Flashlight at all. I mean, you heal decently. But when it comes to arenas and you try like a heal partner, you're gonna do decent healing, but not enough to be like, oh, incredible healing. I mean, the best healing you could probably do is just cast Execution Sentence on yourself or a friendly, and maybe they'll be able to live then. Never know. Focus Shield doesn't want to like. Hand of Freedom, Hand of Sacrifice. Yeah, don't really need the glyphs. Harsh Ward. Somebody asked me about Harsh Wards and if it still does damage. Funny thing, Harsh Wards hits less than Shield of the Righteous. Harsh Wards, last time I checked, on the Train Dummy, it hit the Train Dummy for 13k damage, which on Warlords of Draenor, that's decent. And then I used used Shield of the Righteous on Train Dummy as well, and it hit for 14k. So I'm like, wait a minute, does this make sense? Is it good? Maybe I had a small attack power buff from Empowered Seals, but no, I didn't. Harsh Wards doesn't hit as much. The only benefit of having Harsh Wards is range, but honestly, screw range. You're Prot Paladin, you're gonna get in people's faces. Plus, it's more beneficial to use Shield of Righteous because A, deals great damage, B, reduces physical damage by 30% for 3 seconds, depending on mastery. It really can vary with mastery. And C, adds a stack of Bastion of Glory, which helps with your healing, just overall healing. Why would you not use that? Why would you gimp yourself by just having Harsh Words like, oh, I can range? No, just get in people's faces, whatever. Who cares? Immediate Truth Glyph, that one, I didn't really notice a difference. I thought maybe though I was doing more damage with that like extra haste by making it so that maybe Immediate Truth would hit a little more on initially, but it really doesn't matter, so I just took it off. I just don't have it. It doesn't feel any different. It, like, with it, without it, it feels like you're doing the same damage. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't really affect you. I mean, it doesn't affect you in a bad way, which is good. So, if you want to have it just for security or because you're comfortable with it, you can have it. That's up to you. So, yeah, this has been my overview about Prot Paladin so far in Warlords of Draenor. Guys, the best thing about playing a Prot Paladin, and probably a lot of you be like, why would you want to play a tank in PvP? Well, A, I don't I mean, I don't know, I just like the idea of like having those tanky survivors and tanky supporters that can help the friends and make sure the friends stay alive, and having tanks in PvP just adds that flavor. And B, I don't know, I started as a Prot Paladin, I kept playing World of Warcraft as a Prot Paladin, I still play my main Prot Paladin on the Horde side, and I don't know, just Prot Paladin feels so nice and natural to me, to the point where I can sit down, do a bunch of skirmishes, and I mean, like, get back on like live servers and be like, okay, let's do this again. Except on live servers, I don't do the PvP damage that I could do in Warlords of Draenor, which kind of sucks. But I'm excited that we'll be able to have the Prot Paladins and tanks in general in PvP, because it adds that extra flavor, adds that extra pizzazz to PvP. I know it's probably not the best word to use, but it adds that extra criteria of like, oh, now you got a bunch of guys that can take a lot of damage, that can possibly support friendlies with a bunch of utilities that they have. Prot Paladin doesn't have too many utilities, it does decent damage, it can do decent healing, but I mean, with a 2-piece bonus and a 4-piece bonus, that's a huge, like, that's a huge thing. That's something a Prot Paladin's never had, I don't think, but I wouldn't know 100%. Maybe they had on Wrath of BC, but I'm a Cata baby. I wouldn't know 100% about Wrath of BC, but still, Prot Paladins look amazing, look great, and I'm excited to play one. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this fills you in on what's going on with Prot Paladins and what they look like. My name is Thamriyell. Give this video a like if you like it. Subscribe, and as always, have a great day. I'm gonna go rest and maybe get water because my mouth is getting dry. Anyway, see ya.